Hello students, welcome to this video on drawing a grid on top of a photo reference. So the first thing you're going to need is a ruler, your photo reference, and a pencil. I'm going to be using a black pencil just so that you can see it better in the video, but in general, if I were just doing this for me, I would just be using a regular number 2 pencil or 2B. All right, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is just take a moment to honor Tom Hiddleston and say thank you for being mischievous and burdened with glorious purpose. The second thing I'm going to do is my grid that I'm using, which I'm going to grab, is 6 squares by 8 squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I create 6 squares by 8 squares on here. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to go kind of to where I want the middle of the image to be and make that right at the 3-inch mark. Now I want to get Tom's face. So I know that if I do this and it goes here, I'm going to move that 6 over a tiny bit, then that's going to be where I want. So I'm going to mark at the 3 inches. Ooh, you can't even see that. Let me pull this down. I'm going to mark at the 3 inches. And my 6 inches, I'm just putting right at the edge here, so I kind of know where to measure. So I'm going to go to the bottom. My 6 is going to be at the edge here, and my 3 is going to be right there. Okay, so now I have these 2 dots to connect. So I have the top dot and the bottom dot, and I'm going to line up my ruler, make sure both are aligned, hold down firmly with my left hand. You can, which is my right hand is my dominant hand, so you can switch. Obviously, if your left hand is your dominant hand. Now I have my first line. So I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to line up my 3. And then I'm also going to mark, and I'm really making sure that my ruler is not crooked on the 3. I want it to line up with the top there. I'm going to mark the 4-inch line, 5-inch, 2-inch, 1-inch, and right at the edge. And my 6 inches already marked. So I'm just going to do the same on the bottom. Line up my 3, make sure my ruler is lined up. Mark at the 0, 1, 2, the 3 is already marked, 4, 5, and 6. So now I'm going to line up all of those lines and measure those. Not measure them, but mark them. So I'm holding that down. Oh, don't mind the bell. It's time for first period. Maybe you can hear the band below me as well. Don't judge, it's still early in the year for them, they're learning. Okay, so I've got all of those lines. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the side. I hope I have enough time in this video. I might not. But I'm going to be doing the same side, except this side, I'm going to line up my center with the 4 inches because my 8 is going to be here. But you know what? That actually measures most of mine, so that's fine. I'm going to start at the top here. Measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go to this side and do the same thing, and then I'm going to just cross it along. And I'm going to do it on this last line. Line it up with the top because that's where I originally lined it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to go all the way across and do the same thing. I want to be really careful doing this because if my lines are crooked, it's going to make Tom's face crooked. And he will be very sad because he really likes his face. You can tell. I would too if I had his face. All right, we've got a grid. We're ready to finish this step so that we can move on to the drawing parts. Great job, students.